I promised someone I'd start this like a Broadway show. Little did he know this is what he'd get. No, I'm not at all what you're expecting. Sorry, I'm not leaving yet. So come with me and take this stupid journey. I have no idea where it's going, but it's who I am and what I'll always be. Broadway and history and obnoxious, obsessive, oh my god, nerdcore fangirl and poetry. Spirit fingers. Oh, and don't get all antsies before we begin, so you can get all your panties tied up into bunchies, because I could do Annie or Les Mis or Newsies, so let's keep it funsies and let's have no boozies, because face it, if I did Newsies, you don't have moosies, so let's keep season easy on me. And bring us back to history. First up, me, the history of me. I am a slightosis of the eyelids, the wizard eyebrows of Gandalf, clothing made of dog hair, skin made of spandex, vocal cords of choruses, a topography map of my father's German ancestry, my mother's French-English smile. I am the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. I am April 18th, 1775. Teeth always chewing, teeth always clenching, fingers always hurting, feet always pacing, and shoes too small, rocking back and forth from the balls to the heels, to the balls, to the heels, to the balls, and hilariously laughing that I just said balls 3 times. No. I am schizophrenic. I am here and here and here and here with wicked shaking grandma flab. I'm anywhere but where you are, right in front of you. And as you may have surmised, inside my eyes is passion, though passive, and all of these 250 eyelashes and the 3,500 hair cells and 30,000 nerve fibers found in each cochlea carry with them every footnote you passed over in history class and the history of every flop that ever opened and closed on Broadway in the same month. I am that flop, in eyelashes, in hair cells, in nerve fibers. In 1862, the first theater was built in the Broadway area, the Madison Square Theater on 24th and Broadway, with an audience of 900 seated, 100 standing. On July 28, 1794, Maximilian Robespierre was beheaded, effectively ending the French Revolution that killed 40,000 people just in his reign of terror alone. 40,000 people could have filled the Madison Square Theater 40 times, but those people never got to see the show. These lines, these veins, are connected to both histories. Connected to you and me, every vein goes somewhere. In circles that do not end, we are not what we wear, we are the choices we make and the things we defend. We didn't start that fire either, Billy Joel, but we'll feed it in the end. And then I am the girl standing in line, suddenly struck, like Dancer in the Dark, like Bjork, I'm a dork, and my life is a musical. And I step to the counter like I'm sweeping my bow, and I say, I'll have that ham croissant now. Oh, and whatever is the lowest fat item you've got over here, because you know I gotta keep this figure if I'm going to be a... Take a big breath. And then just as I cue my orchestra, I'm snapped out of it as over my shoulder I hear these two Valley girls talking about Paul Revere, all Sarah Palin style. And I want to turn around and say, hey, there were no bells ringing on that day. Stop watching Fox News. Understand the choices that you choose. Understand that history starts with you. That not every history book tells the truth. It depends upon the point of view. You'll learn more from poetry than the boob tube. You'll learn more from poetry than from our youth. But even Longfellow made a few errors. Should you crack your history text, a footnote you may find of rider flung round horse's neck who now sits lost to time. Then in stirrup, bolted upright in lace and leather dear, a rider rode all through the night, faster than Paul Revere. You will not read his name, but light, he's faster than Paul Revere. Side Adams, Hancock, Mother Goose, the granary knows him not, nor etched neath King's Chapel spruce lies the rider time forgot. A grave unmarked, somewhere in war, at 26 is buried, the British left him with a hold and stained with dysentery. 'Tis no glamorous way to go to suffer dysentery. Yet there's a human tale to thrive the night of the 18th, 1775, upon New England's greens, when Surgeon Young and Patriot too did from his courted fate upon two riders charged thither to news of war theirs to relate. When Paul Revere could ne'er come through, this surgeon would first relate. His courted lay in Lexington, his visit a timely deed. He bid her farewell, and rightly come upon true Minuteman's steed. His service then requested, as a son of liberty, to find Concord unmolested while the British redcoats flee. He'd off without fear of being arrested for chance to make redcoats flee. So onward to Concord did they ride, Paul and William drunk on ale, the surgeon thinking of his war bride, who'd ne'er right hear the tale of red-coated regulars perched ahead along the Concord road, who'd split the riders lest be found dead by musket of a foe. Paul to the right and Will leftward led, but just the surgeon escaped the foe. His horse was steady, he leapt the wall, no time to look back and see. Paul, unready, stood at a stall, redcoats surrounding he, and William entered the courtyard fled, shook the cords off his tail, but gave up Concord trail to tread, lest he'd land himself in jail. So off the surgeon rode lone instead, with William gone and Paul in jail. His Lydia behind in Lexington with redcoats to defray, but warn he must, for rising sun he put her thought away. He knew Lincoln woods, he knew the marsh, he knew the roads and greens. He evaded coats, though it be harsh roads affording meager means. And lo, he swore he could hear them march, they had more than eager means. A light spring rain had dewed the path, the mare grew gray with sweat, though just 10 miles did her hooves have to trod so muddy wet. A moon hung low in western sky, illumined blossoms glowed, then trodden clattered through countryside the cello of branches bowed. He vowed to his Liddy he would not die as the cello branches bowed. The wind howled fast for a savior, a doctor exempt from war, who'd with haste enlist as messenger 'twas whom the wind cried for. His bay mare heard the call to arms, she stiffened her neck to run, when 30 found Sergeant Hartwell's barn with warning the regulars had come. Rouse your men, lads, came the alarm, the march on Lexington's come. And on the surgeon alone out front warned the Lincoln Minutemen, then Amos Malvin and Simon Hunt, then westward ho to Stowe and Acton. No munitions were e'er seized, nor Hancock nor Adams found. Bells pealed out and cannon heaved, warning militia with the sound. And all along his love heart squeezed, too duty-bound to beat a sound. There were shots heard round the world, and many shots to come, but he traded all in for the girl, could he find way back to Lexington. With Concord's battle raging on, with new dispatchers dispatched, his lover lay in Lexington, unknowing he'd not be back. When musket found him in the dawn, Liberty's son would not be back. She'd ne'er hear his profession spake, nor know if rumor true, that he was Fort Ticonderoga's Jake or Continental Army's crew. They say the redcoats caught him in his turn as privateer. Some heard he died in prison, didn't even last the year. She'll ne'er know he took from wounds within, their mind lasting the year. There is a dark and gloomy tale your history books won't tell, of how men with far grander veil store glory while achievers fell. Liddy wait 8 years for his regret, from dysentery he'd retire. Sing his praise and cite a couplet, 'tis how history gets mired. But the midnight ride of Samuel Prescott hadn't the reverence Longfellow desired. Lay down the fife, lay down the drum. All's quiet now in Lexington. See.